Hello, hello. Hi. I'm back. Hello. Hi, babes. Hi. Um, what's the date today? Saturday. Happy Saturday. Hi. I hope you guys are having a good weekend. We are doing Bryan Kohberger right now and hopefully moving over to 𝗕𝗥𝗦 after. Thank you for being here. Welcome back. I see a bunch of you in the chat. Hello, welcome everyone. I am Melly. Welcome to all the viewers, subscribers, the homies, the friends, the haters, everyone. Thank you for being here and replaying this video if you are on replay. I'm going to say hi to everyone. We're going to be covering Idaho 4 today. I'm going to be going over a New York Times article where Bryan Kohberger's sister Mel gives an interview, and it's lengthy, so we'll go through it. We'll read the article. And then I want to go over the recent release of documents that came about. I didn't realize how extensive they were. And I also do just want to give a disclaimer that I don't claim to be an Idaho 4 expert. Sometimes the names and everything and there's a lot to this, right? This case in the first place. And there's a lot of names, a lot of people, and people have their opinions about this case, as do I, and we're all entitled to that. And that's welcomed here and respected here as long as we all keep it cool. We're all pretty cool here. We all pretty much know each other. I would call myself more of a live streamer person on YouTube. So I like the interaction. So I do welcome all of the opinions. I don't drop as many pre-records. I'm working on getting better at that, but that is why I do the lives, because I do like to hang out with you guys and interact and etc. Right? And so, there's a lot of opinions on this case, and I think we've reviewed some of the recent footage where there's a lot of noise and screaming. I did a live on that. Please check out the playlist. I will definitely make sure to add this video on there tonight. And Bryan Kohberger did accept responsibility for these crimes, but some people believe he didn't do it by himself. Some people believe he's innocent, he's guilty, others are involved. My opinion is, I'm not really sure. I want to read through these documents. I'm not sure really what is in the documents, but they are, they're, like I said, they're pretty hefty. They're all like over 100 pages. There's a jury questionnaire, there's biology reports, there's officer reports, etc. And today I'm going to be reading, aside from the interview, I want to go over a supplemental narrative. And I thought I could come on here and read all these documents today, but absolutely not, because this one's just 115 pages in itself. I don't have a problem with that or the reading, but I don't want to make these lives too long to where I like bore people to death. You know what I mean? So I'll keep it classy. And then maybe we can go over to 𝗕𝗥𝗦. So let me say hello to everyone really quick. It's a chill day here where I'm at. It's cold. It's cold AF. So I hope you guys are keeping warm, and I hope you guys have been having a good beginning of 2026. It's only the 3rd, and I feel like it's already crazy. I saw a saint in here, Tippy. Hello. Mal. I saw Abuelitas. I saw Irony. Hello. I wholeheartedly believed he was guilty until documents that came out. This most recent batch. So the batch that I'm going through today as well, it has now been removed. And I don't really know about that. So I was only able to download, I think, like maybe 4 of them, and I couldn't get the rest of them. So I had to ask my girl Amber. She has a channel, ATS. Definitely check her out. She hooked me up with the rest of them. So I always appreciate that. That's how I do things here. I'm always willing to share as well. Sharing is caring. But they're no longer available right now, these documents. They say that I think from what I've heard, that they pulled them because of some like information on there. I don't know. I really don't know. We're just gonna go through them. So we'll see. I'm really excited to read these. I've looked them over, but I haven't read them in depth. So in the supplemental narrative, I believe has a lot of information. It says there's an interview here with Steve Goncalves on the phone, Olivia, her Goncalves, Jack. There's some surprising information in here. Not that I think, about, you know, suspects and stuff too. So we can all make our own opinion about that. And I saw Debbie in here. Hello, Laura. Shout out to you guys, all of them, especially the video footage. Is this really happening? Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Thank you, 𝗕𝗥𝗦𝗕𝗏 says, hello. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for being here and being a member. Wait, is that green-eyed or no? Kind of look like your pick, but thank you for the support. Yes, I did. Hello, Alicia. Okay, let's get started with this interview by Bryan's sister. Have you guys read this in full or no? Because I'm going to read it to you right now. I have not read it in the whole thing, but let's get through it. So here it is, the article. Hi, La, good to see you, love. Happy Saturday to you as well. Thanks. Oh yeah, Amanda, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Okay, so let's see. I think I like myself better in the corner like this. Okay. So this is from New York Times. It says her brother pleaded guilty to the Idaho murders. Now she is ready to talk. So this is from January 3rd of 2026. So today. I'm like literally today. I did have to pay for this as well. New York Times. I mean, come on here. Don't they know I'm a pobrecita? But anyways, hey Alicia. Yes. Hey Tiff. No, not read anything. Oh, okay, cool. So you guys haven't read this. That's cool. New York Times be shady for charging for this interview or article. At least give me the audio. Damn. You know, it's okay. It's just a couple bucks. Okay, so it says since the arrest of Bryan Kohberger in the murder of 4 college students, a case that has captivated the nation, his family has stayed silent. His sister now describes their pain and confusion. Thank you, Tiff. Love that you're doing this. You can. Oh, well, thanks, pizza. I didn't know. I was just over here doing my thing. Oh, I love being a pobrecita. Pobrecita vibes over here. Okay, so this is her right here. I'm going to read the little caption. It says, Mel Kohberger, Bryan Kohberger's sister. When her brother was arrested, Miss Kohberger had been training to start a new job as a mental health counselor, but her new employer was so flooded with inquiries that she agreed to abandon the position. Definitely looks like Bryan Kohberger. Eh? Hey, first. Good to see you. Is that what you really think? What's she gonna say? I mean, wait, it says her name is Mel, right? Or does she go by something else? I'm not sure. The harrowing news had spread across the country in the fall of 2022. 4 college students were found stabbed to death at a house near the University of Idaho campus. Mel Kohberger, who was preparing to start a new job as a mental health therapist in New Jersey, could not help feeling a sense of alarm. Her brother Bryan was living just 15 minutes from the scene of the mysterious killings. Investigators had no suspect, and Bryan was just the type of person who would leave his door unlocked and go out on late night jogs. That's interesting, you know, because the whole stargazing thing, right? Bryan, you are running outside and the psycho killer's on the loose, she remembers telling him. Be careful. He thanked her for checking on him and assured her that he would stay safe. In early December that year, her brother returned to their parents' home in Pennsylvania for the holidays, and later that month, Miss Kohberger got a call from her sister, Amanda. Law enforcement officers had burst in the house in the middle of the night and placed Mr. Kohberger in handcuffs. Okay, I think someone said Amanda was the other sister. Older, younger. I believe she is older. How old was Stinky Kohberger? Do you guys know? I can't remember off the top of my head. Um, I think she's 28 at the time he was arrested. So I guess do the math. And then Bryan is 30? Oh, so Bryan's older. Okay, okay, okay. Bryan's older. My bad. La Pedora says, if I walked into a mental health appointment and she was my therapist, I feel kind of awkward. Mental therapist, you would have thought she would have seen signs her brother was a little crazy. Interesting, right? So Bryan's older. Yeah, I just looked it up. It says Bryan was born in 94, making him around 30 years old in 2024. He's in his early 30s as of late 2025, according to Google. You know, sometimes I rely on Google though. I think he's reliable sometimes. And then I look up her age and it says 20 or oh wait. If she was 28 in 2022, wait, just kidding. I don't know her age. Oh, yeah, she is older. So I was initially right. She's 34 years old. I don't know. Yeah, Bryan is a baby, right? Yeah. I was looking at her age at the time of the crime, and that was in 2022. So it's been a while. Okay, let's continue. Quote unquote, she was like, I'm with the FBI. Bryan's been arrested, Miss Kohberger said. I was like, for what? The response, the Idaho murders. For a brief moment, she wondered if this was a prank. Then a sense of nausea overtook her. And here's a picture of the house. Literally overnight, the mystery of who stabbed four young people to death in an ordinary neighborhood full of college students gave way to a new question. Why Mr. Kohberger, a reclusive but dedicated PhD student who had been on a path to a career in criminology, may have mounted a silent and brutal attack on four students from another university who had no apparent connection to him. The arrest upended the lives of the Kohberger family. Tabloid station cameras outside their home, snapping images of Miss Kohberger's father cleaning up the damage from the police raid. Online sleuths scrutinized footage of Amanda acting in a 2011 horror film that also involved stabbings. Miss Kohberger said she was angered by internet posts from people who speculated whether the family had known all along that Bryan Kohberger was the killer. Quote unquote, I have always been a person who has spoken up for what was right, she said. If I ever had a reason to believe my brother did anything, I would have turned him in. For the past 3 years, the family has kept quiet, avoiding interviews, even as Bryan Kohberger pleaded guilty and accepted 4 life sentences. His parents and siblings wanted to do everything in their power to respect the victims and family during the legal process, Ms. Kohberger said. And even now, she expressed fear that she might say something that could further traumatize them. Her family's challenges, she said several times, cannot compare to what those families have endured. And while the family still does not want to discuss the crime itself, Ms. Kohberger agreed recently to share part of their story, saying she hoped she could bring out the truth about her family and what it has been like to be dragged into the epicenter of a true crime epic. Family members of high-profile criminals have long struggled to navigate the collateral infamy thrust upon them. The Kohbergers found themselves not just interrogated by detectives, but subject to the scrutiny of an assortment of amateur sleuths, part of a crime fervor that has brought millions of people together in Facebook groups, Reddit, and YouTube channels. And that's absolutely true. You know, interesting that remember Bryan did that whole report on like how to get away with a crime or something of the sort, and then his sister also had some kind of involvement with the project involving stabbing. So I find that interesting. Not that it is anything wrong, but I don't know, just something I noticed. When her brother was arrested, Miss Kohberger had been training to start a new job as a mental health counselor, but her new employer was so flooded with inquiries that she agreed to abandon the position. More recently, a book about the case emerged on Amazon with an author listed as Melissa J. Kohberger, suggesting that someone was trying to make money by selling a false version of her story. It's confusing, she said. It's painful. It's like being victimized, but not really being the victim. And then here's a picture of Bryan Kohberger. Hello, Mary Beth, and hello, everyone getting in here. Please, please, please hit the like button now, later, before. And you can also do the thumbs down. I mean, if you really want to be a hater, but regardless, let's continue. Yeah, he looks a little scary there, right? It's like that darkness in the eyes. Okay, let's continue with the interview. Miss Kohberger grew up in the Poconos in a home centered on family, with readings of books like Little House on the Prairie and lessons rooted in their mother's Catholic upbringing. Miss Kohberger said she and her brother and sister had been imbued with values of loyalty, self-reliance, and putting the needs of others ahead of their own. Some of her fondest childhood memories were the nights when her parents, Mary Ann and Michael, ordered takeout food and woke up the children, laying out blankets out on the deck. There, they all looked up at the stars, talking about astronomy and the wonders of the world. Could that be why Bryan used the whole stargazing thing? Because maybe he was familiar with doing that, you know? Let's continue. Friends have described how Mr. Kohberger had been overweight as a teenager and had a standoffish personality, something the family now believes was related to autism. He endured persistent bullying, Miss Kohberger said. He wrote online during those years of having no emotion, little remorse, and feeling as if he was an organic sack of meat with no self-worth. That's how Bryan felt. Little remorse and feeling as if he was an sack of meat, an organic sack of meat with no self-worth. Later, he spiraled into a heroin addiction. When he stole Miss Kohberger's phone and sold it to a mall to buy more rugs, she said, her parents alerted the police. Miss Kohberger said they were all worried that he was on a path to an early death, as ultimately happened with one of his friends. Interesting. But after he went through treatment, she said, Mr. Kohberger seemed to be on a better trajectory. She and her brother both shared an interest in crimes and psychology. She was pursuing a career in mental health therapy. He began discussing a career in policing, going on to study psychology at DeSales University in Eastern Pennsylvania before getting accepted into a PhD program in criminology at Washington State University. We were so proud of him because he had overcome so much, she said. He was still socially awkward and could be abrasive, she said. They often argued. Still, she said, she never saw him be violent. When she once tried to force him out of the house during an argument, he de-escalated the situation by holding her hands back. The lack of violent history was one of the reasons the family found it so disorienting to hear that Mr. Kohberger was accused of such a barbaric crime. He did want to be a cop. Even with the new documents, I still think Bryan is cray-cray. Yeah, this is sad, you know. I feel for the family, regardless of the circumstances with Bryan. Um, Cute picture of all the little teddy bears and flowers, but so sad. In the days before the raid, the family had gathered for Christmas. Miss Kohberger remembered being thrilled to see her brother back home in Pennsylvania and hugging him tightly. To accommodate the strict diet he now followed, their mother had made him vegan cookies for the holidays. They played TV party games. One night, as Miss Kohberger was cleaning up the kitchen, a sharp edge of foil caused her finger to bleed, and her brother, initially expressing disgust at the sight of blood, helped clean the cut and cover it with the bandage. During those days at home, Miss Kohberger said she recalls him only briefly mentioning the Idaho murders, saying that the investigators were still hunting for the killer. Investigators, after going weeks without naming a suspect, had turned to the public in early December and requested help finding a white Hyundai Elantra of a model year between 2011 and 2013 that had been circling near the victim's house on the night of the unalivings. Miss Kohberger, knowing that her brother had driven a white Elantra back from school, said she briefly wondered if they were looking for the same model, but then learned that his was from a different year, 2015. Unknown to the family, investigators had pinpointed Mr. Kohberger as the suspect within days of his return to Pennsylvania. They were already surveilling the house. In the early hours of December 30th of 2022, while Mr. Kohberger and his parents were alone in the house, police officers burst in with guns drawn, shattering glass and rushing to place him in handcuffs. In court, law enforcement officials said that Mr. Kohberger's DNA was found on a knife sheath that had been next to two of the victims. Amazon records showed that he had purchased the same style of knife. And then there was the white Elantra. The investigators determined that the car seen near the murder house matched the model he drove. Miss Kohberger said her mother had been praying daily for the families of the victims. Miss Kohberger herself has put the names of the victim, Madison Mogen, Kaylee Goncalves, Xander Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin, and their birthdays into her digital calendar so that she will get reminders about them. During holidays, she said her family has felt grief that Bryan Kohberger could not be with them, but then she would think of the victims' families and the pain they must be feeling. The idea is making me so emotional that I can barely speak to you about it, she said in tears. Ooh, that's really sad. At the end of the day, we can all agree that, whatever we think Bryan is, she lost her brother too, basically, so I could understand where she's coming from. Steve Goncalves, the father of Miss Goncalves, said he had sympathy for Bryan's sisters and the scrutiny that they had endured in recent years. But he said he still had lingering questions about what Bryan's parents might have known or suspected. As the criminal case proceeded, the Kohberger family was troubled by the immense discussion around it. Bryan's emotionless mannerisms, which the family attributed to his autism, became something people treated as evidence of him being a monster. Research has not established any conclusive causal links between autism and violent crime. There were reports that he had interacted with some of the victims on social media or had gone to a restaurant where two of them had worked, but investigators later dismissed those claims. All of the attention, Miss Kohberger said, made it hard to imagine that her brother could ever get a fair trial, and she could see that the wild speculation surrounding the case seemed hurtful to the families and friends of the students who died. Once an avid true crime fan herself, she now looks back with regret. It's human nature to be curious about darker things, she said. That's how we keep ourselves safe. But I think we should try and come together for a true crime culture that is way more protective and empathetic to the families of the victims. The family has tried to support Bryan. Since his arrest, they've had regular calls with him, avoiding discussions about the details of the case. Miss Kohberger said she kept him posted about life back at home, and he sometimes talks about his latest interest in psychology, the Myers-Briggs personality assessment, and the bicameral mind theory, in which two sides of the ancient human brains operated independently. For his birthday, Bryan asked his family to make a cake that he thought his sister Amanda would like. He asked Mel to blow out the candles. Through it all, they have tried to reconcile the son and brother they loved and still do, with the man depicted by prosecutors and the police, the man who pleaded guilty to killing 4 young people with no apparent motive. When he entered the guilty plea in July, his parents attended, his mother sobbing in the front row. Weeks later, when he was sentenced, Miss Kohberger had hoped to attend, but she stayed home to care for her father, who had developed heart problems. They watched the hearing together on the television. Some of the victims' family members, given chance to address the court, unloaded their anger at Bryan, who sat largely in a blank-faced silence. "You're definitely a demon from hell," one family member said through a lawyer. "The truth is, you're dumb as they come. Stupid, clumsy, slow, sloppy, weak, and dirty," said another. The judge said he could not discern any redeeming quality in Mr. Kohberger because his grotesque acts of evil have buried and hidden anything that might have been good or intrinsically human about him. This picture is a picture of Miss Kohberger holding a paper heart she painted, similar to the one she gave her brother for his sentencing. Through it all, Bryan sat with his hands in his lap, nothing in front of him but a pen and a piece of paper that appeared to have a small drawing on it. On the internet, some of the amateur sleuths watching the proceedings zoomed in to scrutinize the sketch, speculating that it appeared to be a dark heart. I remember that. Bryan Kohberger keeps creepy drawing close during sentencing for quadruple killing, a tabloid headline declared. In truth, Miss Kohberger said it was a heart surrounded by vibrant colors that she herself had drawn for her brother. Even if she could not be there in person, she said she wanted him to know that he was loved. So that's pretty much it. What do you guys think? I think that's a sad kind of article. Like I said, I feel for her. Great speech about Bryan being something. I know, huh? And Lauren's evil is evil. Bryan Kohberger and Mackenzie need to be shacked up together. You can't remove. Bryan's Hyundai Elantra did have front fog lights. Some surveillance showed the car appearing without him, suggesting he may have covered them or removed them at times. Yeah, I have heard that. And hey, Fam Bam, I go with no. He's not staying anywhere near me. So would you let Bryan stay with you if you think he's innocent? That's a good question. I think it's about mental health. Good point. Okay, so let me pull up the documents. Like I said, I want to go through this narrative first. There's a lot, guys. There's I think I have like 11 documents. So the first one, like I said, is going to be a supplemental narrative. And these were filed on November 17th, 2020. Or it was on November 17th, 2022. What was the exact date of the, it was November 13th. Okay. Let me share my screen now. Hey Q, good to see you. My allergies are really bad. I don't feel like I have a cold, but I feel like I have allergies. I don't know what's going on. I have never seen his mom. I mean, it's her brother. I get it. Look how many people support their children and siblings after doing a horrific act. I agree. Yeah, Evie, I think everyone is trying to get those those calls for sure. I know I've tried. Okay, so this one is, and like I said, we won't be too long on these. We're gonna have to split them, so I'll do a part 2. I want to try to get to another live today. I want someone in his family to really speak. I don't think we're gonna hear much. I think that's the family probably decided that she would give that information, you know. So November 17th, 2022, and it says, on November 16th, 2022, I applied for and was granted the following warrants for cell phone providers around the area, serving the area around 1122 Kings Road in Moscow, Idaho. So there's an AT&T. I'm just going to skip through this and get to the a T-Mobile phone. I don't think it necessarily says who these are from. Whose phones, I mean. Yet. Well, the AT&T one's a new. Yeah, let's continue. Okay. So this one says Olivia Goncalves files. On November 15th, 2022, I received an email from 𝗕𝗥𝗏𝗏𝗂𝗏, the father of 𝗕𝗏. He stated that he had access to some of 𝗕𝗏's messages and phone calls. Steve stated he would have his other daughter, Olivia, contact me about those files. I was able to speak to Olivia, and she sent me various files, including an image from the spokesman review showing a camera at a nearby residence, text messages between 𝗕𝗏 and Jack, text messages between 𝗕𝗏 and her Uber driver, and a recent phone call list and video from the Grub Truck Twitch TV feed. I attached these files to the case file. The communication between 𝗕𝗏 and Jack was located in Jack's phone. Examined the Twitch feed was previously downloaded. In the image showing the camera, it was found that that residence was at 1112 King Road. So that's where Jack lived. So it gets confusing because the Idaho 4 were at 1122, not 111, 22, 1112. So the SD card from the camera was brought to the Moscow Police Department, but was the file system of the card not recognized by any of the forensic computers. The card was returned to the owner and reinstalled into the camera. I don't understand this. If it wasn't recognized by any of the forensic computers at the police department, wouldn't they have sent it somewhere else? Like, why would they just ignore it? It says the card was returned to the owner and installed into the camera. I don't get that. A few minutes, in which was long to him, he rules out leaving Dylan and Bethany. Laura says you look fantastic on the screen. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Alicia, you look really good on them. You can see your rays imperfections and you have none. Oh, thank you. That's really nice of you. Thank you. On November 17th, 2022, Officer John Rosinski recontacted the owner of the camera via phone. Carter stated she was out of town, but sent a video to the officer showing a figure walk to the dumpster and appear to look inside. Oh, so it wasn't Jack's? Okay. I'm confused. Because it says Jack's examination and the Twitch feed was previously downloaded. In the image showing the camera, it was found that the residence oh, okay, so it wasn't Jack's place. My bad. It was like the neighbor or something. Got it. Okay. Don't want to confuse you guys. On November 17th, 2020, oh, just kidding. To preserve any potential evidence on the camera, I asked Carter if we could seize the entire device, including the SD card, to which she stated. Carter stated she would not be back in Moscow until approximately November 28th, 2022. I directed Carter to contact me when she returns to her residence, at which time I will attempt to connect the camera back to her Wi-Fi router and view video from the device. And this one, the next supplemental narrative by Officer Mowery, Preservation Facebook. On November 18th, I received an email from Olivia showing a screenshot of a Facebook post from Dylan Mortensen. In the post, the account, the username was Dylan.Mortensen. Reported details about the incident. Quote unquote, I searched for this user and found a user ID of redact of whatever. This account had an avatar similar to the Mortensen avatar. I was able to pull up the account and it appeared to have the following friends associated: Jake, Maddie Mogan. Oh, so Dylan was only friends with Jake and Maddie Mogan on Facebook? Not any of the other roommates. I figured if you'd live with them, I don't know. I requested preservation on all 4 of these accounts. At approximately 07:45 hours, I received an email from Facebook stating that the accounts were preserved. Twitch video. On November 13th, 2022, I was informed 2 of the victims had been Patreons at the Grub Truck, located on Main Street in Moscow, Idaho. I was also informed Grub Truck streams live feeds of their customers and sells via Twitch. I was able to locate the account, from the stream from November 12th to the 13th. In this video, Kaylee and Maddie were seen walking into the camera view at the video at 3:43 timestamp. They are accompanied by a male later identified as John Jack Showalter. And I wanted to read this narrative first because I forgot what that guy's name was, but he was a Grub Truck. Yeah, the guy in the hoodie, if you guys remember. Goncalves orders and receives food. At 3:53 timestamp, the girls are seen walking around the truck and leave the area. Showalter appears to be talking to another patron and does not see the girls leave. Showalter then raises his arms in a what fashion and walks away in a different direction than the girls. You know, I felt like, he did get a lot of people thought that he was sus, when he was seen at the Grub Truck. I don't know if I necessarily thought he had anything to do with it, but I think others could have possibly I thought others could have, but not necessarily him. On November 18th, I logged into the Uber law enforcement portal and submitted an exigent preservation request for any location associated with the Uber driver named Eric, with the phone number of redacted. Due to the nature of the investigation, Uber recommended the exigency request for preservation. In a screenshot received from Olivia Goncalves, it showed messages which appear to be from Eric's phone between Kaylee and himself. The name of the recipient is Kaylee Uber. It is unknown if Eric was on duty with Uber at the time of him picking up Kaylee and Maddie. Uber stated if the driver was on duty, it would show the location of the vehicle. If the driver was not on duty, Uber would not have the data. I was informed by Uber customer service, this is common if the driver provides personal transportation services. So he wasn't working. I didn't know that until I saw it in here. Nobody at the Grub Truck was sus. I agree, Elijah. Nobody, I didn't know that part, guys. I didn't know that the Uber driver wasn't on the clock. Did you guys? At 14:34 hours, I received an email from Uber stating they received my request. I received an email at approximately 16:17 hours from Uber, which contained files regarding the Uber logs of Eric. The records show his location up until approximately 01:15 hours, where it appears no other information is found and he goes off duty. The records were attached to the case file. This one says devices to PFPD. What is that? Police department? What's the PF stand for? On November 17th, I contacted, here it is. Oh, I was wrong. The Post Falls Police Department for assistance in examining the laptops and iPad residents at 1122 King Road. So these are all the devices from the Idaho 4 house. Apple laptops. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 Apple laptops, 2 Dell laptops, and 1 Apple iPad. Interesting. This video is from 1112 King video. I think this is in relation to the body cam that we reviewed, I think in the last Idaho 4 live, where we can hear screaming and stuff. That controversial body cam. I think this is what's in relation to. On November 13th, 2022, I was informed of a possible surveillance camera located at 1112 King Road. Corporal Ryan had spoken with one of the residents at this location, Paige, who had a camera using the Home Pro app on the porch of their dwelling. Snyder provided me with the username and password for the 𝗕𝗲𝗕𝗏 Pro account associated. I asked Corporal if this video was stored on a cloud-based system for me to view or if Carter could download a copy of the video. I was provided a 32 GB SD card from the camera, but the file format was not recognized by any of the forensic computers and prompted me to format the disk. Snyder was informed me Carter could screen capture the video from her phone, and the card was returned to her to enable her to assist in the acquisition of the data. On November 17th, I requested the assistance of Officer John Rosinski to recontact her and see if she could provide the video from the camera. Officer Rosinski contacted Carter, who stated she was in Boise, Idaho, until November 28th. Officer Rosinski Carter sent him a video of the male subject walking by a camera at approximately 03:20 hours towards the dumpster. Officer Rosinski contacted me, and I spoke to Carter and requested permission to remove the camera from the residence. Who was that? Did we ever figure out who that was walking to the dumpster? Because I'm not sure. The poor driver, he was making sure the girls got home only to find out that their lives lost after he dropped them off. Yeah, I mean, they must have been comfortable with him. It looks like they had each other's contact, you know? The family hasn't said anything, so this is interesting. I was surprised at the silence, but I get they're probably embarrassed. Yeah, you're talking about the Kohbergers. Based on my training and experience, I know many of the different video surveillance cameras use a first in, first out storage retention system. This means the newer data overwrites the older data. I was concerned data may be lost the longer the camera continued to record footage. I requested assistance from Officer Morris to go to the residence and unscrew the camera from its location. The camera screws into a common bulb base commonly found on patio porch fixtures. Officer Morris returned a short time later with the camera and the SD card. On November 18th, 2022, I again attempted to view the contents of the SD card. I plugged the card into a write blocker, and it still was not recognized by the computer. Interesting. Now that the data was on a drive recognized by the operating system, I then used Axiom to parse data from the card. In reviewing the data, I found over 13,000 individual images from the card. They appear to be individual video frames from the cameras. While attempting to view the data on the card, I received a forwarded email from Charles, whose sister, Mara, resides at the residence. The email stated that he was viewing the video remotely when Officer Morris removed the camera. He stated he saw a suspicious vehicle in the area and was concerned with the video footage stored on the device being overwritten. That's interesting. I was then put in touch with Tori, another resident at that address. He stated she would be back in Moscow. Okay, so Tori is a girl. Stated she would be back in Moscow at approximately 20 hours. I met with her at her residence and asked if she would be willing to assist in recording screen captures on her phone from the device. I explained I would replace the camera, gather the information, and then take the camera as evidence. I also explained to her that I needed to take the wireless router since the camera was already linked to the Wi-Fi network. Long stated she would consent and allow both items to be seized. I reinstalled the camera, powered it on. I was able to watch as she accessed the footage on the camera. During this time, the camera showed a vehicle entering the area at approximately 03:56 hours and leaving at a rate of approximately 04:20 hours. So 3:56 a.m. and 04:20 hours. So interesting. She provided the videos to me. I uninstalled the camera. Okay. On November 19th, While reviewing the videos located at 0356 and 0420, it appeared the vehicle left the area and may have traveled on 𝗕𝗏𝗔𝗓 Drive. However, the video stopped. In an attempt to see further and gain perhaps a better resolution, I reconstructed the wireless network the camera operated on by powering the wireless router. I downloaded the Home Pro app on my work phone. I was able to use the app and download the the video clips. These clips included audio which were not part of the screenshots completed and were able to capture a longer duration. In the clips, the vehicle's exhaust and acceleration can be heard, as well as seeing the vehicle leave at a high rate of speed on 𝗕𝗏𝗔𝗓 Drive. After capturing the clips, I disconnected the camera and Wi-Fi router and placed them into evidence. The videos were placed onto a DVD and placed into evidence. The next one is an interrogation, and this is from November 15th, 2022. Does anyone in here think that Kohberger already had this plan on his mind to do once he got to Washington? People do think that for sure. I don't know. What's like the motive? I mean, okay, Bryan this, Bryan that. He was creepy. He was maybe stalking them. But like he was just a stalker and a schmurder, or like I thought maybe he was in love with one of the girls. I don't know. Like, what was the actual true motive? I think he planned this and didn't think he could get caught because he's so smart. No, I don't think he did this alone, and the blood splatter proves it. I agree with Amanda. I do. I don't believe he did it alone. And why he decided to take the fall for it, I don't know. And I do think it was somewhat planned, but I do think maybe he was in love with one of the girls. Could maybe one of the girls like given him attention and then maybe to commit a murder that would a cold case never get caught? We're all on the same page here. I talked about this last night too on Amelia After Dark, about Bryan Kohberger being the only player in this crime. Okay, so this says, on November the 13th, I responded to 1122 King Road in an attempt to interrogate the wireless router located at this residence. After speaking with Corporal Brett Payne, he informed me the wireless router and cable modem were located in the living room on the second floor. After arrival, I used an Ethernet cable to connect my laptop to the local area network on the back of the Spectrum Wi-Fi router with serial number, etc. The router then provided my laptop with an IP address. I attempted to locate a web-based management portal for the device, but was prompted to download the Spectrum app and use the account username and password to access the device. I contacted Spectrum technical support and found this was the only way for the client to access the data on the device. I then called Charter Law Enforcement Response Team and spoke with a representative and tried to ascertain if Charter Spectrum could retrieve data from the router via their diagnostic portal. After several days and phone calls to Charter, I spoke with Tammy, the manager at the operations center. She stated her team was working on verifying if the router hardware was able to be accessed. So it seems like from the beginning, they just had trouble accessing the camera from that other address. And they're having trouble getting into SD cards and now this. On November 17th, I again called Charter and left a voicemail. Okay. And then on November 17th, I called again, who stated so he was able to retrieve data from periods of September 14th to November 7th and November 11th to November 14th. I was informed there was a problem with their cloud services and what resulted in the data loss for November 8th through the 10th. Wait, so they were able to retrieve data from September 14th to November 7th. What about if there was data for November 8th through the 10th that was important and it was just lost? That's really interesting because it's in the middle of the crime, the date of the crime. I don't know, is that weird that I think that's odd? Like, what if something happened between these days and we're never gonna know? Correcto mundo or no? Um, I informed them I would be applying for a warrant and requesting that the data with legal process. Hmm. From my training and experience, I know Wi-Fi routers allow wireless devices to connect to them for access to the internet or other devices on local area network. During this process, after a device has successfully connected to the wireless router, a log of this connection and the specific MAC address of each device is kept on the device. If a user previously selected the connect automatically setting while connecting to the wireless router, which is a common default setting, the device will connect to the router automatically without any user input. These devices would have to be in close proximity for the router to be shown. The data previously stored on the wireless router located at 1122 King Road and preserved may show individual MAC addresses of devices connected. It's if the suspect had previously connected to the wireless router or was in close proximity to the wireless router, this device may have automatically connected and appeared on the logs. This could provide evidence of when a device was in close proximity of the router the night Maddie, Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan were all murdered. I requested the assistance of Latah County prosecutor in applying for a warrant. Wow. Um, on November 21st, the warrant was granted. These files were ready to download on November 22nd. Okay. Let's I'm going to stop here on this document because I want to go to the next. I want to go through some. We'll go back and forth between the narrative and I want to go over through some of the evidence video or docs. So, oh, sorry. Let me pull those up. I want to go through the biology report. We're just going to kind of go back and forth because there's a lot and there's hundreds and hundreds of pages. Okay. It's amazing how much our phones know about us. Oh, it knows my whole entire life, my secrets, everything. Idaho. Okay, so this is the Idaho State Police forensic biology report. Maddie Mogen, Xana Kernodle, Ethan, Kaylee Goncalves. Evidence description. Item 1, knife sheath. Swab of front strap, edges of the handle portion, edges of the blade, and stains on the back. Results from the chemical test performed online on item 1 indicate the presence of blood, which was swabbed. Known reference samples. Okay, all of the victims. You guys, this is what I wanted to point out, which is why I wanted to go through these. So Maury had all the router. Why can't they tell when Xana and Ethan got home? Good question. Good question. Okay, this document, I'm like, do you guys see this? Case names, suspect, Jack. This is when they thought Jack was a suspect. Does anybody else find this interesting? Like, I heard that they didn't even go through with investigating Jack completely. I don't know if that's actually true or not, but that's sus to me. I'm not trying to blame Jack or whatnot, but what if anyone had a motive, it could have been him too. I'm just saying. Not that I think it was him. But interesting how this document says he's the suspect. The subjects are Bethany and Dylan, and then all the victims. Just normal police procedure. Item 3, evidence submitted. So it was a swab from bedroom floor, F2 bedroom floor. Right fingernail clippings from Ethan. Left fingernail clippings from Ethan. We're going to see these pictures too right now. Right fingernail clippings from Xana. Basically all of their fingernail clippings. There's blood. I'll zoom in. So this one says 10 left fingernail clippings from Xana Kernodle. Red-brown staining on nails. And then it says right fingernail clippings from Maddie. Also red-brown staining on the nails and light pink stain on exterior of largest clipping. I guess I wonder what interesting. Fingernail clippings of Maddie. Half stained portion cut to DNA. Remaining swab pack in manila envelope. I'm just going through and seeing if we see anything sus. What's the orange stain on interior of 𝗕𝗥𝗔𝗂𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗔𝗐's nail? It says red-brown staining on all nails and orange stain. Wait, on the other ones, it doesn't say all nails. Oh, yeah, it does. So they just had blood. There's a lot of blood. Dry blood. Okay. Then they said they took swab and debris from floor 3, F3 bedroom floor. Blood. Ethan Chapin fingernails. Okay, let's get to the pictures. Oh, let me zoom out a little bit. So item 6. Wow. It's kind of intense looking at these. Jeez. It's pretty horrifying, right? I don't think Maddie was able to fight back. I don't think so either. I know it's intense. I know it's just nails, but I'm like, I just try to envision like, ooh. So like Why didn't Bryan had more wounds on him if there's this much blood under their nails? I mean, it coulda just got there, because of the way they were placed or whatnot, but, like, under your nails, like, isn't that, like, defense wounds? Like, where's the blood? I guess I'm just confused. That's a lot of for all of them to have that much blood under all of their fingernails is intense, you know? And just so you guys know, guys, I'm not coming up here acting like a forensic scientist. We're just going through these documents, so, um, we're just chilling, having a good time. Maybe it's their own blood. Look at those. Yeah, I know, but wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wow. Look at this. This one has a lot. This is item 12. Wait, I wanna go back and see whose that was. Item 12 is did it say? Why does it do that? It doesn't am I blind? It just says 4. Oh, they're not in order. Madison Mogan. Wait, so that's Maddie. There seems to be a lot of blood under hers. Well, actually, it's kind of the same. But, like, I mean, look. That's what I'm saying. No blood evidence from Bryan in the house. But you're gonna tell me he killed 4 people in what, 5 minutes? Nah, I just don't believe he did it alone. Yeah, there was blood seeping out of the house. Maybe he had gloves. These are brutal. These are brutal. I know it's just nails, but I'm over here, like, freaking out. I'm so dramatic. Whoa. That's a lot. Look at that. No, 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 no. That's like skin. Don't you think? Like, what the helly? Item 15. I need to be nosy and go back and see. Item 15 was 𝗕𝗥𝗔𝗗𝗕𝗏. Jeez. I can't even imagine the family, like my heart just why does that make me kind of sick? Like, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I'm like, oh my gosh, could you guys imagine like what that night would have been like? Regardless of who we think it was, like 4 students got butchered to death. These speak volumes. Something he had helped to get it all done. I think this. My opinion only, allegedly. Don't come for me. I just So, they thought Jack was a suspect still by 11:21. The next photos are submitted from above stairwell. Let me see if I could put these on a so we don't have to keep going back and forth. Oof. RIP to the Idaho 4, man. Can I copy this? So, stairwell. Blood. Blood on the stairwell? Above the stairwell. Upper floor banister. Swab submitted from the outside of south kitchen window. Submitted swab of face mark. Okay. Bottom swab stain of bottom handrail. So just taking a swabbing at everything. Swab stains on half wall. Top and edge of the half wall on floor 2. Stain on edge of half wall, top of half wall. So it says here, subjects, and it names a Jeremy, a Mason, a Coy, a Derek, a Patrick, a Courage, James, Henry, Kenneth, Donald. So this was all the DNA, I'm assuming. Found. I don't know. I'm not a forensic biologist. Hi, beautiful Augie. I was surprised Murphy did not have anything on him. The dog. I said that too when we watched the body cam, the outside surveillance from the last live. Hey, Ruby. First time here. Hello. Welcome, Ruby. We're happy to have you. You're fine, Augie. Okay, so all of these people are the subjects, and then there's victims, evidence, K-bar. Okay. Oh, yeah, right here it says all those people mentioned, they got oral swabs for them. Interesting how, okay. We know there was always a lot of people in that house. Item 1, K-bar knife sheath. It says leather knife sheath and ETS SM man envelope labeled trace not examined. Sheath previously examined prior to latent print analysis. Used 2 swabs inside of the surface of the blade portion. Submitted swabs from 1127 King Road, apartment 1. That's not the Idaho 4 house. The neighbors? 1127 apartment 1. 2 swabs from the entry hallway. Red brown stain? South entry hallway wall? Whose house? Whose is 1127? Do I need to look that up? That's Jack D's house? Oh, okay. Thank you. Why was there blood at his house? Can someone tell me why there was in the entry hallway and kitchen wall? Red brown stain. Unless it's caca, it's blood. Right? Am I tripping out? I feel like what the heck? Murphy barking for over 30 minutes is also sad. I don't get that either. Hey, beautifully broken. It's crazy to have all this evidence and still have questions who did it, along with if there was help or not, or no help. Becoming a part of law enforcement sounds interesting. I agree, Leona. But why, you guys? Why is there blood in that house? In Jack's place? Red brown stain south entry hallway. 1 labeled marker, 2 red brown stain west kitchen wall. I mean, it could have been for anything else, but it's not the victim's blood. Yeah, I know. What, did someone cut themselves or something? Like, yucky. Clean it up. Don't leave dry blood when you cut yourself with the kitchen knife, you know? Clean that shit up. Just kidding. Okay. 37. The swab submitted from south entry hallway. Kitchen wall. Item 38, submitted swab agency item 264 from scene. Item 264, blood swab from scene. Okay, so why didn't they put what the item was? Why just item 264, sirs? Sirs at the biology lab? Because down here it says, oh, maybe they didn't. Yeah, they're not labeling what it is. And then it says 261. Blood swabs from the scene. Okay. I wonder like what those items were though. I'm nosy. I want to know. Manila envelope. Item 261, blood swab. Okay. Item 40, black polar penguin glove. Oh, okay. Black penguin glove labeled M Majestic, brand on logo, black knit fabric on side, textured rubbered palm side, brown, red, light brown, and red brown stains overall, plant debris, hair fibers, dirt. Tested 17 stains. What's a penguin glove? Black polar penguin glove? Need a Google. Do you guys know? Polar penguin glove? Oh, I see. Okay. It's just a brand. Wait, but what kind of gloves are these for? Heavyweight nap terry knit? Are these like construction gloves or what? It's a work glove. Okay, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, excuse me. I need to know what all of this is because I'm sus on it. I'm sus on this case. I'm suspect. I still don't have my opinion fully made up because I think that there's a bunch of shady stuff going on with this police department. Swab stain on palm. Okay. Let's go down. Wait. So they swab the whole entire penguin glove, and then it says oral swab from Henry, Kenneth, Donald, Mason, Jeremy, whose DNA was probably found inside the house. Courage. Okay. I guess these are where the knife sheath pictures come into play. I just think, yeah, I think part of me thinks he didn't do it alone, and part of me thinks people know more than they actually have said. Doesn't mean I don't think Bryan's guilty. I just think there's more. Our work used gloves that didn't cut through. Wonder if he had them gloves. Like the kitchen gloves, you mean? Glove is the source of unknown male DNA. Unknown male DNA for the glove? That's a little bit suspicious, right? Okay, so here's this handle portion. I think he was in that house before the night, meaning Bryan Kohberger. Murphy barking, right? For that long? Yeah, that could cause reasonable doubt. Male D was found outside several days. Interesting. Areas swabbed. Oh, so these are the areas that were swabbed. Okay, but you guys, I mean, anybody could have. Could more than one person have touched that? Oh, here's the glove, the penguin. There we go. Wow. Yeah, somebody was definitely wearing these. These are messy. It's really wild. So that is like blood, right? Hmm. Has the tough part of the fingers. So he didn't get cut. That looks like blood for sure. Right here. More evidence from a bunch of other people. Jeez, they did take a lot of swabs. Swabs from all of these people. Rita, John, Mackenzie, Syringa, Chase, Caleb, Brennan, Tyler, George. Beer can. Gum and wrapper, handle loop. Right shoulder strap. Beer can on vanity. Swab of another beer can. A lot of beer cans. The results from preemptive chemical tests for the presence of blood were negative on items 66 and 67. So the beer cans. 68 and 69 were visually examined. No stains with consistent blood were observed. So the beer cans. Oral swabs from all these people. Beer cans. Okay, so wait, it says beer can from stairs. Beer can from stairs. Jansport backpack with gum from living room. Black Jansport backpack. Used bright light to examine light brown and white stains overall. Residue stains. Could just be anything, though. It's a backpack. Yellow stains on handle. Gum in wrapper. Light green gum in apparent orbit wrapper and 2 pieces of foil Okay. Swab of handle loop, shoulder strap, beer cans. Hmm. They were trying to link Connor and Showwater to the beer in the bag in the living room at the same time. Yeah. Thank you, Irony, for the super sticker. I appreciate you. Very kind of you. So he didn't touch the other two? I know. I'm with you, Ruby. I said this last night. I don't understand why they left 4. If I think if it was a really just a cold-blooded schmurder, he would have taken everyone out. And he had the means to do it. The person who did it, Bryan, I guess in this case. But you already killed 4 people. What's another 2? You know? Like, and I don't mean to sound heartless, but I'm just saying if he was already there and could get away with that much, why leave witnesses? That's just part of my it's like he already knows if he got caught, he'd be doing life. Why not just take the other 2 and leave no witnesses? Something about the surviving, and I'm say this with all the respect, I think we're all entitled to our own opinions, as am I, and the surviving roommates, I don't feel have been honest in their entirety, and I don't mean to say anything by that. I'm just saying I think some things don't add up, and again, I can speak from experience on partying and whatnot. Why wait so long to call authorities and why call family member there's just a lot I have questions about. Dang. He left witnesses hoping they would charge them. I hope one day Bryan will speak. Maybe one of them yelled at him and saw him like the girl and he got scared and left. Yeah, maybe he could have thought like, "Oh, someone just saw me. She's gonna call 911." But he could have just gone to the door, forced it open, and slit her throat too. I mean, obviously he could fight off 4 people, right? According to all of this, and stab people multiple really fast, so he couldn't just go in and break into the door, kill Dylan, and then walk out. I don't know. I think Ellie manipulated what the roommate said, changing Kaylee Gonzalez to Xana Kernodle in the PCA too. We're not blaming Dylan. I think, I don't know, something doesn't add up. Evidence shows calm demeanor. Why change and run out of there? After he did all of that too, had to be tired. He's probably too tired. I don't know. What about the fact that BF calls her dad over a toothache and asks what to do, but they're scared shitless and answers to just go to sleep? That is part of it as well, Amanda. I thought of that. I thought of that too. Let's see. This is another report. Suspect Bryan Kohberger. So that's where Bryan's name jumps in. Like if you're calling your parents over a toothache, I think Ellie did things to cover and change stories. Yeah, I could see Ellie. I don't necessarily always trust Ellie. In my opinion, Xana and Ethan were an afterthought. Were part of his plan. So then, who was he truly there to kill and why? Stalking them. I think it's personal. You know what I mean? Really personal. Stairwell, more swabs, more swabs. Okay. Mattress. Stain on cutting from uncased pillow, mattress, bottom seat cushion from Bryan Kohberger's vehicle, kitchen counter at 1630. Is this Bryan's house? Parents' house? 1630 Northeast Valley Road. I don't remember his. Must be, right? I have so many questions. Yeah, Dan and Ethan were collateral damage for sure. Bryan is guilty for sure. He admitted it, but also some people are hiding something for sure. Math isn't mathing. Yeah. Okay, so they got his kitchen, his seat, his car headliner, seatbelt buckle with boot, oral swabs from Bryan Kohberger. Test performed indicated the presence of blood. Wait. So there was blood on the stairwell at Bryan's house? Says results were performed indicated the presence of blood. 72 through 78. Stairwell, half hallway, second floor, outside bedroom, living room table, third floor door. No, that still sounds like the Idaho house, right? And then it says long brown hair from Bryan's house. So I think, yeah. Yeah. Hair root. A hair root is insufficient for nuclear DNA. 4-centimeter long brown hair from Bryan Kohberger's house. They couldn't determine whose DNA that was. That would have been somewhat interesting if they could have. Right? Wrong place, wrong time, Xana and Ethan. I believe they passed very quickly. Yeah, I do too. Okay, here, it'll give us more stuff here. Kitchen counter at Bryan's house. Okay, swab stain. Uncased pillow. Why would they want to take? That's interesting. Mattress protector from Bryan's house. Pullman, Washington. Wait, I'm interested to see. White mattress labeled foot top cover. Used bright light. Large light brown stains on top. Small red brown stains overall. And possible hair fibers. Bryan Kohberger was planning, Alicia says, I think years he went into it. Bryan Enton said that no one else has said lots of false things in this case. Bottom portraits of the mattress protector from Bryan's house. I'm interested why they went straight for his mattress. I guess I probably tested everything in his room, so whatever. Bottom seat cushion from Bryan Kohberger's vehicle. A seat cover, Hyundai Elantra. Suspected Bryan Kohberger. I'm just trying to see. A few light brown, red, brown, white stains, hair fibers, a few small dark stains on top seat, removed fabric seat cover to examine the underside. Okay. Headliner from Bryan's vehicle. A few small brown stains. Seatbelt buckle with boot. A few red brown stains. Cut near the end of the boot. Oral swabs from Bryan Kohberger. Submitted swab from north wall of stairwell. Half wall. Second floor. I'm assuming that's back at the house. Or, yeah, because it doesn't say it's Pullman. Third floor door. Floor near west bedroom. Yeah, see here it says 4 centimeter long brown hair from Pullman. Drain hair, possible hair inside of drain, shower. Oh, what is this? Oh, this is the hair that they found, I suppose. Things just don't add up. It's a horrible case. I wish they would have made him say why. You guys, maybe he will. Maybe he will at some point. He had dozens of thumbs up pictures. He did that in all of that time. It's sad for everyone. Xana put up a fight. His picture in the bathroom is so disturbing. I know. He's a freak. What secrets, what lies? I'm so confused. What people say this case is pretty open and shut. Why plead guilty weeks before trial? I almost think the defense had a very good case, and then 2020 basically aired everything. The wall. Oh no, the pillowcase cuttings. There was blood on them. Wait, did they say if it was blood? Dang. This is wild. There's another stain right here, too. But if he went home and showered, why would there still be blood? If it was blood on this, was it blood? I can't remember what the report said. It doesn't say. It just says negative. I don't know what that is though. Otol. Interesting. This is just from the covers still. Right edge. Stain cut to DNA. Oh, wow. I had never known that there was. Whose DNA, though? I'm curious. What is this, too? Stain B, 3 millimeters, stain cut to DNA again. Why can't we know when Xana and Ethan got home? I know. Why is there a horrible scream at 2:27? That's what made me think. Again, okay, maybe something's off with this case when I heard that. That's wild to me. N I lived in a college area though, like this, and I went to college as well, and I don't remember ever hearing a scream that was blood curdling. Exactly. And let me tell you, I was in the party group. I was party girl of America. Like, I was at every party, sleeping over everywhere, dancing. I mean, so that's why sometimes for me, and it's just perspective based on perspective. You guys don't have to feel this way, but like for me personally, when they didn't like, oh, didn't call 911 when they were scared in the house and stuff like it just, I don't know. I feel like that wouldn't have been me. I would have definitely called the police. Even if I had rugs. But if I thought I heard my roommates screaming or needing help or something scary was going on, I mean, what would they have charged me with? Like, being drunk? Like, why not call the police? Right? What would you guys have done? I guess I'm curious. There's just a difference in the party scream. I mean, but you're right, it could have been any kind of scream. We don't really know. But the car has to come from Pullman to get to Moscow. They don't show that. That is reasonable doubt. I agree, JP. Xana went and looked. She had that reaction and she died. And if it wasn't part of that 11:22, then something else really bad also happened that night. Exactly. Can two things can be true at once, right, guys? Like maybe disgusting Brian did come in there and do this. Maybe something else happened before. Maybe it was a drug house. Maybe there was other people that had, you know what I'm saying? I mean, nothing's ever going to make sense to us until unfortunately people speak out more. What is all this stains on Brian's sheets? Cuz these are Brian's sheets, right? Or was this from the house? Because it says, yeah, Brian, the hair was from Pullman. Headliner from Bryan Kohberger's vehicle. Yeah, I know we saw bottom seat cushion, mattress. There we go. So this is from, yeah. Wait. Yeah, it's from Brian's house. Hmm. Oh, toll retain. What does that stand for? Oh, we're in school. Oh, retained. Um, take your notes for the test. Is an abbreviation OTOL. Okay, because this is bugging me. I'm like, what does it keep saying OTOL positive right here? OTOL is an chemistry. Excuse me? Oh, what the helly? Is it a bacteria or something? I don't know what the heck that means. But it says positive. O toll retain. Meaning on biology on police report. Hmm. I don't know what that means. But yeah, those are from his house. So what the helly are all these stains from Nasty Brian's bedroom? Yucky. They look like blood stains. Like, what is this? Who was in his what? I didn't like that they tore the house down either. That bugged me before anything was even done. Oh, it's the blood detecting chemical. Okay, yeah, it was giving me like a literal scientific formula. It was like ortho the ch3c6, it was like giving me like the whole chemistry structure, and I'm like, I don't want to go to class because I am a science major, but not like this into this stuff, like forensics and stuff. But I should have known that. Hmm. Oh, cool, with the lights and everything. The seat. Wow. Hmm. I don't think anyone would ever live in that house after that. Ellie says no social connection or stalking. That is MSM saying. I think there was. I don't know why I believe that Bryan would have stalked them. Like, I know the reports don't show it, but maybe he had like been following them or something for a while, on social media under different accounts. I don't know. This is wild. Wow. Floor mat from Bryan's vehicle, trace material, seatbelt, brake pedal, gas pedal, beanie, balaclava. Oh, there's a wait. Beanie and balaclava, that mask in room K from 119 Lambsden Drive. Who's on Lambsden Drive? Lambsden Drive. Whose address is that? Oh, that's his parents' house. Got it. Oh, thank you, JP. Yeah, I just looked it up. Sometimes I forget because there's so much information in this case. Radiance gloves, the balaclava was at the Dickies Binny gloves. Negative, negative blood, no blood on items 111 through 119. So there was no blood on any of these. Not even on the balaclava mask. Because isn't that what they say he was wearing that night? Maybe it wasn't the one there. Maybe he had multiple. I don't know. Interesting. No consistent blood. Floor mat from Bryan Kohberger's car. Okay. Let's get to the pictures. I had not seen these before, so. You would think there would be blood somewhere in his car, or no? Like, it says no blood found on any of these things in his car. Right? I'm understanding that, right? Unless they're lying in this report, or maybe there's another one. I don't know. This is why I have issues with the case. No evidence on why clothes in PA, nothing in his yeah, exactly. Like, come on, guys. Was he that good? We're gonna give Bryan this much credit. Okay. I mean, I'm fine with that. I mean, he was damn good to get no blood or nothing, anything. Buried the clothes. that had blood on them. But, like, think about there was blood seeping through the foundation of the house. Even if he did have a getaway outfit or whatever, there was still nothing, not even anything on the shoe, anything, like, anywhere, not even one little drop somewhere at the Pullman address or his parents. I mean, I'm trying to think, like, what would I do if I was a schmurder? But it's a little hard. I think I need to, like, think about it, not on the live. I'm like, he did clean the car. You're right. But I mean, is he the quick quack king of the world now? Like, he's super clean. Like, he must have really just got everything, right? Yeah. Some things don't make sense. He had to get away from the house to his car without any transfer. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, when I mean, like, no drops, nothing, not one little baby drop. He had a good amount of schooling. Hmm. Mm, but does that make him a genius? Like, he really thought, "I need to make sure there's no blood on all of these things." Those are scary gloves. Scary looking gloves. Yeah, and no evidence of cleaning agents to remove blood in his car. He was suited up, I guarantee, and what, wearing booties? Like, those booties, I had to s when I worked in pharmacy, when I was making compounding drugs, like medicinal pharmaceuticals is what I'm saying for YouTube purposes, because it was, but we even had to suit up there, and we had, like, the booties on the feet, and stuff like that, so I'm just wondering, maybe he did go prepared. Um, I don't do, like, yard work and stuff, so what do the people use these gloves for? Because 'Cause I'm like, dang, these are ripped, falling apart, the beanie. So he had all these gloves too, but he got rid of the one pair, yeah. Huh. He was a runner. Interesting. I just think it's not awesome in the sense of like, "Oh, cool, Brian," but I'm like, "Well, I mean, if it wasn't for the knife sheath, would he have got away with this?" Tippy. Einstein was a genius. That doesn't mean I want his hairdo. Mm, I don't want anyone to think I'm a Bryan Kohberger lover or anything, because 'cause I'm not. Augie, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, he literally studied. Okay, now Dexter, on the other hand, I do like me Dexter. I do. That's my ultimate favorite show. I think I've told you guys that before. I love Dexter. I could probably tell you that show, maybe word for word. If not, at least very detailed. All the episodes. Here's a key. But if I one day became a schmurder because I watched Dexter, does that make me a professional? No. But Dexter didn't target innocent people. Exactly, JP. Exactly. Okay, so this next report is still Bryan Kohberger, even the brake pedal. Okay, okay. chair, trash cans, east bedroom. Oh, so on here there was blood from west bedroom floor. So I'm assuming this was back at the house. I don't think this was at his house, was it? Because it doesn't say the Pullman address. Yeah, so perhaps this was back at the house, the Idaho house. Swab and gas brake from his vehicle, gear shift, seatbelt buckle, swab of gas and trunk release, radio controls from Bryan's car. And then it says swab stains in west bedroom on floor 2. I don't know if Bryan Kohberger's parents' house was multi-level. Do you guys know? Like multi-floors, like upstairs, downstairs is what I'm trying to say. His education he did in college might help. He couldn't get laid. They said incel or however it's spelled. Do incels kill people all the time? Like, I didn't know they were automatically labeled schmurners. Let's ask ChatGPT. I'm curious. Dude, sometimes I'll ask ChatGPT weird shit. Maybe you should do a Millie after dark on that. No, incels are not automatically criminals. Most self-identified incels do not resort to violence. However, the online incel community has been linked to several high-profile mass murders and terrorism. YouTube doesn't like that word. I forgot. These violent acts. Okay, who knows? That's just what ChatGPT said. No, but they must be kind of frustrated. Yeah. I don't know. The parents' house was 1 level. Okay, that's what I thought. So back at the house, Idaho 4. Bryan Kohberger's vehicle. Jeez. They really did examine these things, though. Wow. His teacher studies serial killers. Yeah. 125 is from Xana's room. 126 from Maddie's door. Oh, thank you, JP. Let me go back. I nerd out on these things. Oh, I see. Okay, what you said right there. 125 is from Xana's room and 126 is from Maddie's door. So there was presence of blood on this. Okay. Let's go back to the pictures. Next is Bryan Kohberger. Again, pink blanket from Dylan. Okay, this is interesting. Dylan, I didn't see this either. Stain near left top corner. Light green jacket from Dylan. Yeah, Alicia, we're going to cover that. Um, Results from presumptive chemical tests performed on 132, which is the pink blanket, Dylan's, that indicate the presence of blood. Why would there be blood on Dylan's blanket? Someone? Anyone? Holler? She had a bloody nose. Oh, okay. What a coincidence. Because we know it's Dylan's blood. Jeez. Maybe she did have a bloody nose. It says chemical tests for the presence of blood were negative on 133. DNA. Okay. Forwarded to DNA. Pink blanket. Dylan Morganson. Okay. Blanket with red hearts. 8 stains tested. Why is there so many stains on Dylan's blanket? Yucky. Yeah, I guess the bloody nose would make more sense. Maybe she like got her period or something. I don't know. I mean, that's all I could really think of. I guess let's look at them. They're like very faint, or else I'm freaking blind. Don't know. Maybe two things. I had a bloody nose this morning because of my cold, so I get that. Not in my bed though. Not in my bed. Um Not me telling you my life story. Okay. Couple of blood. It could have been from another night too, like maybe they got drunk or something and cut herself or because, they partied a lot. Oh, here it is much closer. Yeah, the close up is good. Yeah. Mm, so there was no blood on here. It said in the report, so that's good because that looks like blood on her jacket. Wait, did I read that right? Because that looks like blood. Let's go back. Results presence of blood were negative on the jacket. Okay, so maybe that's like coffee or something. Girl. No, it's Dylan's jacket. It looks very dirty. Huh. Okay. That was the end of that. Okay. We're going sorry, too much. We're going to end it there. So we went through the biology report. Wow, we went through 100 and something pages of that. That's awesome. And then we didn't finish. There's a lot. Oh, you know what? I wanted to share this with you guys too, really quickly. Um, ISP ruined the jacket prior to testing. Thank you, JP. Oh, no, that was not the one I wanted. Oh, yeah, it is. The jury questionnaire. I was thinking we could just go through it really quickly. It doesn't really say much. It's just what the questions are for the jury. What is your gender? Okay, demographics. Have you, I have to sneeze, lost the right for okay, I don't want to ever sneeze in your guys' face because germs. Okay. Idaho law provides that nursing mothers, okay, just a general basic questionnaire, contribute money, okay, received funds from ACLU, donated money. Have you or any member of your immediate family ever belonged to a victims' rights organization? Have you been part of an advocacy or political lobby group? Do you have any medical issues such as vision problems? Okay. Medications, occupational status. Been employed, okay. I'm just looking to see if there's anything like earth-shattering here. Not really. It says, "Do you understand this legal principle?" A defendant is not required to testify at all. If Mr. Kohberger decides he does not testify, will you agree not to speculate as the reason? Do you feel the jury should be free to disregard the law given in the jury instructions? Have you ever or a family member ever been in an inmate at a penal institution? Okay. The evidence in this case may include testimony about autism spectrum disorder. Hmm. Wait, what did that say? Do you have a strong opinion about hearing evidence of that kind? Are you or your spouse or any members of immediate family any way involved with any of these entities? Do you know the defendant, the attorneys, the victims? Have you watched any media on this? Have you donated funds to any person? Pretty basic. Okay. Well, at least I went through that. Oh, let me fix my screen. Okay. Well, we went through that. There's a lot more documents, so I'll go through and pull the best ones, and I will do another part 2. Shout out to you guys for being here for the last 2 hours. Yeah, this is interesting. This is interesting. I think we all have different opinions too, which I like. It brings for good conversation. So let me know what you guys think about all of this. Mary Beth couldn't get into this. Brian's miserable without inmates making noise. Yeah, I know. Bless you, as my niece says. Thank you. Anyways, please hit the like button on the way out. Thank you so much. We will continue this reading tomorrow. I want to see if I can maybe squeeze in a Kenzie live tonight. But there's other really good reports that we're going to touch on in this drive. So interesting, very interesting. Exactly, Evie. Very interesting. I have to cough now. I have like a scratchy throat now. Hopefully I don't end up getting really, really sick. If I you hit it. Hit the like button. Thank you, Augie. Yes. Okay, so I'll make another live. Thank you, Marvelous Melly. Thank you, 𝗕𝗥𝗡𝗦. I'll make another live and I'll see you guys on the next one. And like I said, we'll continue reading these documents. So shout out to you guys for being here, and I'll see you on the next one.